Welcome back to another video in the Certified Kubernetes Administrator series. Have you ever wondered how companies make sure that only the right people can access a Kubernetes cluster? Or even if they can access it, how do they ensure that those users can only perform the tasks that they are responsible for? That's exactly what we are going to start learning in this section of the CKA series. Up until now, we have focused on understanding how Kubernetes works. From this point onwards, we are going to learn how to make Kubernetes fit to run in a production environment. We secure it and ensure that pods and services run exactly where they should be. We will see how we exercise control over everything running in this cluster. But before we dive into securing the cluster, let's take a look at how far we have already come. We started with the most important question: why does Kubernetes even exist? From there, we learned what pods are, why they are the smallest deployable unit in Kubernetes. We looked at deployments and replica sets, and then we explored why deployments alone are not enough, leading us to DaemonSets and StatefulSets for specialized workloads, each solving a different deployment problem. Then, we explored storage through different types of volumes, understood how pods and services communicate with each other and with the outside world, and learned how ConfigMaps and secrets separate configuration from the application code. Finally, we connected everything together with Kubernetes Networking, services, Ingress, gateway API, and load balancers. That completes the foundation of Kubernetes. Think of it like building a house. We poured the foundation, built the walls, installed the roof, and connected the plumbing and electricity. The house is ready. Now it's time to move in. And moving into a house is much more than simply unlocking the front door. Many of you who have moved houses in your life would relate. You decide how each room will be used. You arrange the furniture. You make sure every appliance gets the right amount of electricity. You prepare for guests. You maintain the house over time. And above all, you secure it. The remaining part of the CKA journey is exactly that. We will learn how Kubernetes decides where pods should run, how to make sure workloads stay on the nodes we want, and how to prevent them from running on nodes where they don't belong. How CPU and memory are managed using requests and limits, and how Kubernetes automatically scales applications when the traffic increases. We will learn how commands, arguments, environmental variables, init containers, and multi-container pods work together to prepare applications before they start serving users. We will also cover the rolling updates, cluster updates, backups and restores, troubleshooting, and all the day-to-day operational tasks expected from a Kubernetes administrator preparing for the CKA exam. But before we learn how to manage a cluster, we first need to learn how to protect it. Because what good is a beautiful house if anybody can simply walk in? Imagine your own home. You wouldn't give every visitor a key to every room. The gardener doesn't need to access your bedroom. The cook doesn't need to access your personal documents. And the electrician doesn't need the permission to open your locker. Everyone should have access to the areas required to perform their jobs. Exactly the same principle applies inside Kubernetes. Only the authorized users should be allowed to enter the cluster, and once they are inside, they should only be able to perform the tasks that they are responsible for and nothing more. This is where Kubernetes security begins. The first concept is the authentication. Authentication answers one simple question: who are you? Just like someone uses a house key to unlock the front door, Kubernetes requires users or applications to prove their identity before they are allowed inside. That identity could be verified by using a username and password, a client certificate, or service accounts used by applications running inside the cluster. We will cover each of those methods in detail in the upcoming videos. Once someone is inside the cluster, Kubernetes asks the second question: now that I know who you are, what are you allowed to do? That is authorization. We will learn how Kubernetes implements authorization using RBAC, which is role-based access control, ABAC, which is attributes-based access control, webhook authorization, and other mechanisms that determine exactly which resource a user can access and what actions can they perform. But security isn't just about who can access the cluster. It's also about controlling how applications communicate with one another after they are already running. That's where network policies come in. Since we just finished Kubernetes networking, all those concepts will be fresh in your mind, making this the perfect place to begin with. By default, every pod in a Kubernetes cluster can communicate with every other pod. That makes the connectivity easy, but from a security perspective, it's very risky. Imagine one application gets compromised in your cluster. Now, without any restrictions, that compromised pod can attempt to communicate with other pods in your cluster, increasing the blast radius of an attack. Network policies solve exactly this problem. Think of them as building walls inside your house. Instead of one giant open hall where everybody can walk everywhere, each room has its own doors, and only the people who genuinely need access are allowed through. In Kubernetes, network policies create those same boundaries between pods. If one application is compromised, those boundaries help contain the attack instead of allowing it to spread across your entire cluster. And that's exactly what we will build together in the next video. We will create our first network policy, break it, fix it, and understand how Kubernetes decides who can talk to whom inside a cluster. Now, before I wrap up, I just want to say one thing. If you have been with me since episode 1, thank you for trusting me with your Kubernetes journey. And if you are new here, welcome. The journey to becoming a CKA certified Kubernetes administrator is just about to take a really exciting turn. Up until now, we have been building the foundation. We have learned the why behind Kubernetes and understood how the different pieces fit together. From this point onwards, you will actually start seeing problems being solved right in front of your eyes. You will watch applications become secure. You will see Kubernetes make intelligent decisions. You will understand why clusters behave the way they do. And more importantly, you will begin to appreciate the beauty behind the engineering that makes Kubernetes one of the most powerful technologies behind modern day applications today. This isn't going to be a series where I throw technical jargons at you and ask you to memorize the commands. That's never been the goal. Instead, we are going to learn Kubernetes using simple common sense, relatable stories, and real-world examples that you will remember long after you have passed the CKA exam. If you haven't started this journey yet, today is the perfect day. Go back to episode 1 and start from the beginning. In just a couple of weeks, you will be able to catch up with more than 5,000 learners who are already benefiting from this series. And I can promise you one thing, there won't be a dull moment. Because you are not just learning Kubernetes, you are living the Kubernetes story with me. If you have enjoyed this video, please hit the like button. It will really help the channel to reach more learners. Subscribe so you don't miss the upcoming video because every episode builds on the previous one. And by the end of this series, you won't just be ready for the CKA exam, you will understand Kubernetes the way it's used in the real world. And if you know someone who's preparing for the CKA exam, trying to break into DevOps, or simply wants to truly understand Kubernetes, share this series with them and invite them to join us on this journey. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you all for your support, and I'll see you in the network policies video. Until then, take care, keep learning, and I'll see you very soon.